Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, you're welcome. My name is Anita Fon, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload new tutorials to my channel. If you're old member, you're welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to draft this pattern step by steps, and also we're going to be making a bishop sleeve. So if you want to know how I do this, keep on watching. First thing I did was to go ahead and draw a straight line. First thing I'm going to do is I'll put in my soldier measurement. My soldier measurement is 15. 15 divided by 2 will give me 7.5. I will mark it up down. Then from the 7.5, I will slant down my soldier by 1 inch. Will go down by 1 inch. From the 1 inch, I'm going to measure my armhole deep, which is 7.5. I will mark that up as well. After doing so, and as well, I'm going to mark my 7.5 here and mark it up. I'll connect it from here to here with a straight line. After connecting this line, the next thing I'm going to do is I will measure from my soldier to my nipple point, which mine is 10 inch. I will mark it up and measure from my soldier to my underbust, which mine is 13.5. And I'm going to measure from my soldier to my half length, which mine is 15. Then I'll be adding 2 extra inch for joining it to the skirt. After doing so, I'll go ahead and connect all those points with a straight line. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'll put in my nipple to nipple measurement, which mine is 7 inch. 7 divided by 2 will give me 3.5. Then I'll be adding half inch for joining the dark together. The next thing we want to do is to come here to, that's the nipple point, will go down by 1 inch. Then I'll create my dark of half inch to the left and half inch to the right. Connect those points together. Now the next thing I want to do is to come here at that's my nipple point. I'll go up by 3/4 inch. Then I will go in by half inch. I'm going to go ahead and connect that straight. Now, after doing so, I will have to connect that point all the way to my underbust with my French scarf roller. Like so. After doing so, the next thing I want to do is I want to come here and my soldier line. I will measure when my armhole normally sits. I will go in by 4 inch and mark it up. I will connect that 4 inch all the way to here with a straight line. And now I will go ahead to connect my soldier slant line as well. Now what I'm going to do is to measure whatever I have from here to here and divide that by 2. Mine is 7.5 divided by 2 will give me 3.075. Will go in by 3/4 inch. I'll connect it from here to here with my French scarf. After connecting that, I'll go ahead to put in all my measurement. I'll put around my 1/4 of my bust measurement. Around my bust is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. I will mark it up. Then I'm going to add 1 inch to it. All together is 9.5. I will come here and my under bust line. I'll put around my 1/4 of my under bust, which mine is 30. 30 divided by 4 will give me 7.5. Then I'm going to add 1 inch for the dark. I will come here at that's the half length. I will put 1/4 of my waist measurement, which mine is 28 divided by 4 will give me 7 inch. Then I'll add 1 inch. Take note here that I'm not adding my sewing allowance. When I'm cutting this on my fabric, I will add direct my sewing allowance. After connecting that, we'll go ahead to cut that up. Take note the way I'm cutting it, so you're not going to make a mistake. Like so. When I'm done cutting it, I will go ahead to cut this to close the dark here like this. Hold it up with your paper tape or anything you have to hold it on with. Here I'm using a solo tape. So now the next thing I will do here, first of all, is to increase my dark. Go ahead, I'm just going to increase my dark here by 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch here. After doing so, I will connect it all the way to my soldier line. I'll go ahead to cut up the dark. After cutting the dark, this is what we have. We're going to go ahead and take another paper. We're going to spray it out. I'll be leaving about 7.5 inch at this downer part. Now I'm going to connect these 2 points like this. Alright, then after connecting it, we'll go ahead to cut the remaining excess. Now what I'm going to do is I want to connect this part with the straight line, so it will not be like kind of having a curve there. We don't want to avoid that curve. We're going to make it with a straight line. I will go ahead to cut up all the remaining excess around that. We don't need it. Now what I will do is to go ahead and draft my basic pattern like I did for the front, and I will come here and mark 6 inch downward because the back is going to be in a V shape. Then I'll be adding my 1 inch for my zipper. I'll go ahead to connect those points with a straight line. The next thing I'm going to do is to connect this point all the way to my neck width, right? And now I'll be adding my nipple to nipple measurement like I did for the front. Connect it with a straight line. I'll go in with my dark of 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch here. Connect it all the way to the chest line. Now, what I will do is I went ahead to divide my soldier measurement like I did for the front part. In this case, we are not going in. Instead, we are connecting in from outside. And we are done. We'll go ahead to cut up the pattern. When we are done cutting the pattern, we'll move ahead to our sleeve. First thing I did was to go ahead and fold in my pattern into two. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line, which is going to be my guideline. And from that straight line, I will mark my sleeve cap, which mine is 4 inch. If you don't know how to get a sleeve cap, divide your bust measurement by 12, then you add ½ inch to it. After doing so, I will measure my armhole from here to here, since we are making the sleeve for this pattern. I'll go ahead and mark that up. Mine is 8.5. Just mark it up here. Connect it with a straight line from the 8.5 like so. Right? Now I will look for the midpoint of that line, which here is 9.5 divided by 2 will give me 4.075. I will look for the midpoint of this, then I'm going to go up by 1 inch. Now I will connect it all the way here with a straight line. Then I will get my French scarf. I will place it like so and connect it. Now I'm still going to go ahead and look for the midpoint of this 1 inch, which is ½ inch. I will mark that up. Now I'll connect it all the way from here. That's to get the front and the back armhole. Connect it. Then I'm going to flip my French scarf like this for the front armhole. Connect it all the way to the ½ inch that we mark. Next thing I'm going to do is I will put in my half length, which is 10 inch. Then I will go down to my sleeve length. Mine is 22, but I'll be minusing 3 inch from there because I'll be using 3 inch for the band. Connect it with a straight line, and that straight line I will put here my elbow measurement, which mine is 10 inch. 10 divided by 2 will give me 5. Then I'll be adding 1 inch to it. Here I'll put around my wrist divided by 2. Mine is 7 divided by 2 will give me 3 inch. Then I'll add 1 inch. Connect these 2 points together. I'll go ahead to cut that up. Open this up to cut the back armhole. The next thing we'll to do is to go ahead just to make about 3 lines on our sleeve. I'll slash that up and we're going to go ahead to spray it up. After spraying it up, I'll go ahead to hold it up with my tape. Alright, here it depends on how big you want the sleeves to be, right? You can, if you have enough paper, you just go ahead. So to leave it, what I did was to leave 3.025 and do the same thing to the last one, but the one at the center I leave 2 inch. I'll go ahead to connect this downer part with a straight line like this. And now what I will do is to come here at this top part. I will extend 1 inch, 1.5 inch, sorry, here. I'll mark that up. Connect it from here to here to the 1.5 inch with my French scarf, because this is going to be having a gather, okay? I'll do the same thing here. The next thing I'll do is to go ahead and make the band of my sleeve. I'll go ahead to draw a straight line, which is going to be my guideline. Then I will mark around my wrist measurement, which mine is 7.5. Then I'm going to be adding half inch to it. Altogether is 8 inch. I will go down by 4 inch. That's including of joining the band to the sleeve. Connect that with a straight line. After doing so, the next thing we'll go ahead to do is to cut that up. Now we are done with this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy watching this tutorial. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. See you on my next project. Bye bye.